you start off why, right? With all these options and choices.
Me, I'm looking for substance. So if you can't come with a substance level of conversation, I have no interest.
Okay.
You black man taking the liking of how my lifestyle is living and how I'm going, man. You being intrigued, man. That's very humbling for me, man.
All right. How you doing today, Kadeem? Thanks for coming on the Club Geneva show.
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Just a typical day in the life of a new podcaster. You know, it's quite a journey. But I know you've had quite a journey yourself, man. You're from Jamaica, correct?
Yes.
You went to, it says you went to attended Campion College in Jamaica.
Yes, I was born and raised in Jamaica. Jamaica's a wonderful place. And then I moved to the United States, did my bachelor's and master's. After I finished my master's, I said, you know what? Let me go travel the world. And then, yeah, that's what happened.
Okay, so travel the world, though, but it's got to be like something between that because most college kids just don't have the opportunity.
For sure. There's a lot that happened in between, going to college and then just started traveling the world. So, we can definitely get into that some more. But I will tell you, a lot of sacrifice comes with, doing that kind of thing and figuring it out as you go. It's not easy, but it's possible. And I want to be one of those people that, hey, if he can do it, then yeah, why not me? I didn't come from, a wealthy family. I came from a third world country. All of the things that, people say, oh, no, this would hold me back or that would hold me back. And then you figured it out and you work really hard. You ask questions, you improve. And then, yeah. So then that's the general gist. But of course, we can get into more specific things during our conversation.
No, of course. Of course. I mean, usually when I have people on the show, a lot of people are very fascinated in knowing like their background and how they got to where they're at. You being a young, successful Black man is something that is really important these days. So talking about your journey is a great start because a lot of us start from not great background, right? Not a great background. So can you kind of walk us through how was life growing up in Jamaica, especially being a third world country?
Of course. So I will tell you, I had a very privileged, I had two different type of childhoods. What's the plural of childhoods? Anyway, so I had two different styles of being raised, right? So one was before my mother passed and one was after my mother passed. Because obviously with two parents in the household, it was a different dynamic, right? After my mom passed, things changed significantly financially, obviously, because medical bills, as you know, very, very expensive. And they had quite a impact on my family, right? And so before that, two-parent household, that was great. I went to private school, right? I got, anything I wanted, right? I had a PS2 for Christmas when it came out, life was good, right? And then things changed and all of a sudden, bills were a problem, right? Sometimes I didn't have enough for dinner and I had to just, from lunch, I just made it until breakfast. And that was, obviously when I was in high school. Now, most people don't know about that part of the story. They just thought that everything was still okay, but it wasn't. And so then I made a decision consciously at 15 that this sucks, right? And I wanted to retire before I was 30. I made that decision at 15 consciously. Now, I had no idea how that would happen at 15. I'm not going to, it's like it just clicked. No, it took me many, many years after that before I even had a solid plan, right? So, but I did make the decision, which is what's interesting. At 15, I remember. And what a decision really means is that you're saying no to everything else. So then anybody that asked me what was my goal when I was graduating high school, when I was approaching college, when I got to my first college class, etc., the goal was the same. It was always the same. So then every time somebody asked me a dream job, I didn't want a job. That was never my answer. Somebody would go down the line, oh, I want to be a doctor, biochemist, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a YouTuber, whatever. People would say different things. My goal and my answer was always the same. I want to retire before 30. That was me in
That's
high
pretty
school.
broad.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's a pretty broad brush, man.
Well,
Especially at 15.
yeah,
Even considering the word retirement at 15, most
I
15-year-olds don't even think about that. And I see that, losing your mother, unfortunately, rest in peace.
Mm,
I know that had to be tough on you 100% and your family. So just
100%.
so what may I ask, what happened to your mom? A lot of
So
people
she,
want to know that.
no, for sure. She died from cancer. It was cancer of the liver. And so she was actually
Okay.
sick for 5 years. It was a tragic event because she was such an impactful person. I think maybe that inspires me a lot now because I want to be someone that follows in her footsteps, not necessarily doing the same things, but some of the things that she did in her lifetime, I still benefit from 10, 15 years later, you understand? So that was
Yeah.
really quite amazing. So
Yeah.
and there are people who will come up to me and say, hey, your mom changed my life. And because of that, anything that you need, I got you. That's amazing, right? So
Wow.
hearing stories like
So
that
so you
really inspires me.
so I only ask that because sometimes it's a tragic thing, and then sometimes, well, all death is tragic, but sometimes it's a specific tragic incident. But then there's sometimes like cancer where you actually get to spend time with your mother. You get to
Right.
ask her those things that a lot of people don't get to ask their moms. My mom died tragically.
Mhm. Right.
From an aortic aneurysm, and I didn't get
Well,
to ask those questions. So
well,
having the opportunity to ask your mom those wonderful questions and learn about what path she wants for you, I'm sure that was a part of the journey. Now, you said that your mom was
I will
very
tell you,
go ahead.
it actually wasn't, right? Because she died when I was very young, right? So then
Okay.
I would not have had that opportunity to ask her many, many questions. My sister probably would have, right?
Okay.
But I wasn't conscious enough to be thinking the decision, of course, to start, my financial journey and start becoming somebody. Even I became a pretty accomplished cellist. He never saw me play the cello because that happened after she died. So there's a lot that my mom didn't get to see, and I was
Hmm.
just a kid, and so I
Wow.
didn't really
Well,
have
she'd be
that.
pretty proud of you.
A lot of people say that, and I
She'd be
appreciate
pretty
that.
proud of you. Yeah,
Right.
definitely, man. I went through some of the notes on you, man. You're a pretty impressive person.
Thank you.
I did want to ask you. Yeah, I did want to ask you. Growing up in a third world country, what did your parents do? Because you said that your mom was very influential in the community. I'm sure
Mhm.
your both parents were. So
Right.
what were their backgrounds? What did they do? Were you guys wealthy growing up, or were you just
Absolutely
middle
not.
class in Jamaica?
We were not wealthy, but we weren't bad, right? So my mom came from a lower income household, but full of love, right? Many siblings. I think she has maybe 13, 14, 15 siblings. It's crazy. But my dad is an only child. So then also his family, both of his parents were teachers, right? And very
Right.
upstanding teachers in the country of Jamaica. And so both people, very principled people. And so one of the messages that they passed on to me was good values. Do good for people and always, always, my dad repeats this over and over again. Have good character. Right? Be someone that people can rely on, be honest, try to do the good thing always. And so that's where my parents passed on to me. More than anything else, it's who I am that they passed on to me. Now, as it comes to things, well, my parents, they didn't study money in the way that I did, right? Because, well, they had a lot more going on in their life. They had two kids, etc. you know, so there's a lot other things that they had to focus on. My mom was a marketing consultant, and my dad, he was trained as a brewer in for Heineken. So he trained for Heineken for a number of years, and then he pivoted to actually doing music full time because he actually wanted to spend more time with his kids. And even that's a big motivation for me as well, because I want to have kids one day, and I don't want to have to choose between my job and my kids ever, because I want to be there for every single birthday, every single football game, every single dance recital, every single, whatever is going on, PTA meeting, I'm going to be there. And, I was used to
Wow.
that. So that's pretty cool.
So, so now you're 15 years old. You make this bold statement in life that you want to retire early. What started to happen? What were the things that went in place that helped you to get to where you are right now? Walk us
Well,
through that.
well, here's an interesting thing. It's a thought process, right? Because for anyone who's watching this, I want you to understand that when you make a decision, what actually happens is that you shut out all other alternatives. So, for example, if you say that you're going to start a diet, then it's a lot easier to keep a diet if you just get rid of everything in your house that is not a part of your diet. That's it. Just get rid of everything else. So then the only default option becomes everything that's in your diet. You see what I'm saying? And so then that's what happened
I'm
to me
tracking.
at 15, right? That's what happened to me at 15. Is that I made the firm decision that I knew a job wouldn't get me there. That's the first decision that I made. If I'm going to retire at 15, is not that at 30, in 15 years, there's not that many jobs that would get me that at 15. I knew that, right? So there's no way I'm going to be a teacher, right? There's no way I'm going to be a lawyer because lawyers don't get that. The doctors I looked around, they're not retired by 30. None of them are, right? They're in debt and they start working at like 27, 25. There's no way, right? There's no way that they're going to be retired by 30. So I looked around, and even though I didn't have exactly what I was going to do, like I didn't find real estate until after I went to college, I knew that it would have to be a business. I would probably have to have employees. I'd probably have to have some type of income coming in while I'm sleeping. I'd probably have to know a lot, right? Know a lot more than I did. So then at 15, I also made a decision to start reading one book every single week. And I've been doing that for a very long time. So you can imagine if it's 10 years, right, then that's over 500 books, which the average person only reads maybe 20 books in their lifetime, right? So it's made that big difference.
You just almost made my nose bleed when you said a book a week, man. All right.
Sorry.
No. My wife actually is doing this. She did this 25 books in 2025, and that was quite an accomplishment. Now she's on the 2026 for 26 books. So when I see people like you and her who can make that huge amount of commitment, I see where you garner that success from, because being able to channel yourself to have that much self-discipline where you're saying, I'm going to stay committed to this. I don't know what I'm going to learn from this or what I'm going to retain, but I am going to stay focused and committed. I could see where you got to where you got to right now. So being in Campion College, and you earned a full scholarship to study in the U.S. How did Campion connect you with the U.S.?
So it's actually interesting. I went to two high schools, right? So shout out to Campion College. Shout out to Hillel Academy. Hillel Academy, I got a scholarship to go there as well. Now, Hillel Academy is a school in Jamaica where it's mainly diplomats' kids and government officials' kids and people who have jobs overseas. Their kids also go there. And so it's a more affluent school. And so then I got a full scholarship to go there, which I was very grateful for. But the reason I got a full scholarship is more important because at the time they had a great music program, and they still do. But in order to transition to get that full scholarship, I needed to understand that it wasn't just a 4.0 that was going to get me there. It was also, hey, I can contribute to this entire school and the history of the school and the history of this college that I'm going to and trying to be accepted into in multiple different ways. So I had a 4.0 before I got to college because I needed that. That's without saying. But then I also needed to be a leader. I needed to show initiative. And I also needed to have, some type of accomplishment in the arts. So I was an accomplished cellist, and that was really one of the foundational things. So I got a music scholarship, and then I went overseas. I actually had 2 full ride offers, and I chose Seton Hall University.
Okay, so what state is that in the U.S.?
That's New Jersey. New Jersey.
New Jersey. Wow. Okay, I'm sure that was a culture shock. I know it's a lot of Jamaican people in New Jersey and around the East Coast, but I mean, just coming to America from that third world aspect and then coming to this, kind of wealthy, really wealthy country and a lot of opportunities that a lot of people don't get around the world. What do you think about American life? Like when you see people, your peers, what do you think is the contrast from a Jamaican teenager or young adult versus an American young adult? Do you see any contrast there?
Got you. So that would not have been the first time that I went to America. Remember, I would have gone several times when I was much younger because I had 2 parents, right? So it wasn't the first time. But what I will say is the biggest thing that is the difference is that, one, I love America. And the biggest difference, what I see is that when you go from a place like Jamaica and you see so much opportunity, you see this opportunity that people aren't taking advantage of. Like you can make money anywhere in the United States. Literally, they're printing money, and you see that, and it's like, oh, now I'm playing on easy mode. All this time, you didn't realize how hard it was, and because I'm traveling the world now, I see it even more clearly, right? So I'll give you one quick example, because this might be jumping the gun a little bit, but this is a big part of how I was able to transform, my financial life. There are 5 types of leverage. There's code, there's content, there's community, there's connections, there's one more, capital, right? Types of leverage. Every rich person works with at least one of these, right? So code, content, community, connections, and capital. Now that 5th one, capital, is a big part of how I was able to move faster, right? Because if you have capital, then you can make a little money, and you can make a little bit of a percentage, 1, 2, 3%, but you're making it a lot of money. So then you can understand that the gross income from that is a lot bigger, right? Cool. Now, here's how this plays out in the United States. In Argentina, this is why I like this example. In Argentina, do you know what the average interest rate? Just take a guess. The average interest rate on a credit card is. Just take a guess.
Average interest rate in Argentina, well,
take a guess.
I mean, it's got to be high. It's got to be very expensive. It's got to be high. What, 30, 40, 50%?
30, 40, 50. That's your guess? You want to lock it in? You want to go one more?
35%. 35%.
You want to go more? Are you sure?
45%.
That's 120%.
I knew it was high. Yeah, so that's amazing.
How can you
pay that back?
Exactly. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So then now we're talking, right? Now we're on the same page, because we understand that the average credit card in the United States is 18%. Now, if you're coming from Argentina, we haven't gotten to Jamaica yet, but if you're coming from Argentina and someone says, this is going to cost you 18%, this is free money to me, right? Oh my God.
Right.
18%.
I'm tracking.
Okay. This is crazy. And you're going to give me $25,000 at 18%? Oh, it's over for you guys. It's over, right? So then now, that's coming from Argentina. Now, coming from Jamaica, you have interest rates that are 30, 40, 50, much as 60%, right? There's some crazy rates out here. But, let's say it's just 20%, okay? Now, what we don't have here is 0% introductory rates, which means that you have 0% cards that will give you, let's say, 15, 12 months, 21 months, 18 months, 0% interest, and they'll give you $20,000, $25,000 for an entire year and charge you no interest. That's crazy. Again, coming from Argentina, this is unbelievable. Now, obviously, I'm coming from Jamaica, not Argentina, but you can see how mind-blowing that would be. Because then now, if you can just take 10, and that's one credit card, if you can just take $10,000, you can hire somebody, come up with a product, and you can start running ads and selling. Oh, this is amazing. So then now, this is what I show people how to do. You can do this all day long. And that's just one credit card. Because then now, if you're looking at this field very clearly, you have personal and business side. Well, maybe I'm giving too much information. It's fine. It's for the content.
No, you're right on. I think you are enriching the viewers and myself. So no, you're totally fine, brother. No, I love it.
Okay, good. I keep going. Okay, good. It's good. So you know what's funny? This is how you know when it's good. You feel like you're giving too much. All right, there we go. There you go. All right.
Yeah, right. Is this in a book? You wrote a book. Is this in your book?
Yeah, it's in the book.
Right.
We'll come back to it.
Okay. Yeah,
promise
don't give us the whole. Yeah, don't give us the whole meal.
No, that's just 2 chapters. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
What's the name of the book?
So the book is called Full Money, and I'm sure you'll have a link to this down below. But if you Google me, Kadeem Leslie, it's going to pop up. You can find it on our website. You can find it on Amazon. It's going to be there. We have a big launch planned right now. We actually have some activities going on this weekend. So we're going to be really, really active on social media over the next 2-3 months. And then obviously for the rest of the year, really solidifying this book as a bestseller, right? So let's get back to giving the audience what they came for, right? So you have 0% interest for 12 months, 24 months, 21 months, 18 months, whatever, right? Now, we have shown people how to do this. If you do blueprints on the personal side, you can get 5, 6, 7 years of 0% interest. Now, if you can't
And
make
what
a
is
profit in
that?
7 years,
Say that again.
what do you say?
What'd you say? What was that word again? Blueprints, you said?
So
Or
we have blueprint. We can show you exactly how to do this. So I'm giving you information, but
oh,
obviously the order in which you do it, there are obviously small details. For example, when you go to application, making sure that you set up correctly, etc. All these things matter. Obviously, we know that your zip code matters as well. So there are a lot of things that get into the details, but I'm showing you what's possible, right? That's what I'm doing, right? So I keep going. I keep telling you what's possible. So now you're having different cards on the personal side, but we haven't even gotten to the business side yet. On the personal side, that's 5, 6, 7 years, 0% interest. We can show you how to do that pretty easy, right? Just Google 0% interest cards, personal credit, and they will come right up. And you'll see this one gives 12, this one gives 12, this one gives 15, this one gives 21. And you just keep going, adds up to 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Now, then you get to the business side, same thing. Now you have 6, 7, 8, 10 years. If you combine them both together, you're looking at in total, you haven't even scratched the surface of low interest, for example, 5, 6, 4%, because you can borrow against your assets, etc. You haven't even scratched that yet. You haven't even gone to credit unions yet. But then now we're moving from 0 to maybe 4% to 10% to 12%. This is still free money, guys. I said now, I mean, if you think about it, if you're borrowing at 12 and the stock market is giving you 18, it's free money, right? So then now you get over to the business side, you're doing the same thing, 0% interest, go again, go again, go again. You have 14, 15 years, 0% interest. All that time, and we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, 0% interest that you can just use to increase your own assets. Now, why aren't more people doing this? Just comes down to education. But then to answer your question, to go back, that's one of the biggest differences that people don't see in the US is that opportunities like that, what people do is that they instead take those credit cards and they go buy shoes, or they go buy a Tesla instead of setting themselves up for assets that make them rich. That's the difference.
that makes sense. I think a lot of people though have a disconnect with okay, the business aspect of it is what should I sell versus or what service should I offer, that will help me to pay back regardless of, whether it's 21 months, 0 interest. Right. How do I pay this back in a proficient way, and I create some type of liquidity for myself? So, I mean, what are some of the products that you are selling or services that you sell?
All right. So I'll give you, there's so many different ways and creative ideas. Obviously, if you were to sit down with me and we go down to 20, 15, maybe 50 ideas, it's mind-blowing the amount of creativity that you can get here. But what you really want, first of all, is that you want something that is going to pay you back all of your money within at least 1 year. Ideally, if you could get all your money back in 30 days, that would be great. However, if you have 0% interest for a year, then you have a year to play, okay? So then what I like to show people is how you can do this to real estate. That's not the only way, but one of those is real estate. In the book, there are dozens of ways that I cover, literally dozens of ways. And that's why the book is written. That's why it took me 6 years, right? So real estate is wonderful because you can use the money, you can get a property, for a couple $1,000s, right? And then once you have that property, once the cash flow starts coming in significantly, of course, you're taking care of the cash flow, which is why the program is called Cash Flow Hero. So you get your money back as fast as possible. And then you get to keep the property while having all of the cash that you invested back into your pocket so that you can do it again. Most people don't buy properties this way, which is why they go ahead and lose, right? And also, we show people how to house hack so they're making even more money while building more equity, okay? Another play that you can do, you can set up vending machines. Now, if you go to Witten Group on Google, you can go set up vending machines. They will give you 90 days to pay off the vending machine. So you haven't even started needing to have a credit card yet. But all you need to do is go ahead and find a location. How do you find a location? Facebook groups, you can run ads, so you can use your card for that, of course. You can go in person. You can send emails. You can hire somebody from Fiverr to do an email campaign for you or even do cold calling for you in a specific area. I train them on scripts to do. If you don't know what script to use ChatGPT, and then have them call 50 people every single day. And then now you're finding locations for your vending machine. You find a location, call Witten Group, they'll set it up for you in that location and then give you 90 days to start paying for that vending machine. And all you need to do is go and stock it up and then start making money. Another fantastic idea. I keep going. So you have car rentals, right? You can go ahead, you can find cars on auction, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, maybe even $2,000, depending on the level of a car. You can fix it up. Again, this is all in 1 year. Fix it up. Hire a mechanic, make sure that obviously they know what the price is to fix it up. Look on Kelly Blue Book, find out what the resale value is, and you can sell that car within 1 year and profit $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Or if you want to keep it and be smart, you can start a car rental business. You can put it on the road, rent it to Uber drivers, and here's what you do. You go to Carvertise and put 4 advertisements. 2 on the side. So 1, 2, 1 at the back, 1 at the front. So then now, if let's say you have 3, 4 people paying you on this car. So let's say it's just $200, right? That's $800 for the month. Okay. And then the Uber driver is paying you, let's say $1,500 for the car, $1,500 rent for the car for the month. Now that's on the low side, but I'm just showing you what it could cost, right? $1,500 and it's another $800, right? So doing the math with me, it's around $2,300, right? Now remember, you got this car for maybe $6,000. How long does it take you to get your money back?
Yeah, it's not going to be long at all. I mean, you make your money back.
And you keep your car.
Enough time to pay back. Yeah, enough time to pay back whatever you borrowed against. So I think that's the biggest factor is that you can pay back before you start to take on interest.
So it's less than 6 months, which means that in 1 year, you can do it twice. You see what I'm saying?
So I take it that this book of yours is a buffet of, for lack of better terms, a lot of different ways that you can connect yourself through credit to financial freedom, right? By using credit to the fullest potential, by buying certain products, certain services, or whatever that you can buy that's at a lower price that you can maximize a profit from, correct? Correct.
Oh, this book is way more than that, right?
I bet it is.
On your financial freedom journey, this book will take you from that point to the end. So then if you're just starting, this book is for you, right? So
the way you're explaining it.
Got you, right? Exactly. So it will take you from how to make more money from anywhere you are in the world, then how to, of course, find assets from anywhere you are in the world, develop these assets into systems, right, that run without you. We'll show you exactly how to do it. And then once you have these assets running without you, we'll show you how to scale them, how to grow your team so that you can get your financial freedom. Start traveling the world if you want to, or have time to spend with your family, or whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter, right? What do you do after you have financial freedom? That's up to you. But wherever you currently are in your journey, this will take you from there to the end.
Yeah, I'm not downplaying. I think this book sounds incredible. I mean, just to hear how you explain it, just with the details that you provided just from right now, man. I mean, I think people could actually take what you said and start applying it to what they're doing. Even just recognizing the perspective of the fact that these creditors, I get these envelopes all the time. I'm not going to lie to you. 0% interest for 18 months. And most times I'm like, whatever, get it out of here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with it. I'm more of a financial person where I like to just grow I'm a savings grower more than anything.
Right.
Well, with that, it becomes a protective thing. Like you want to protect it. You want to hover over it.
Right.
But I realize that a lot of people who are successful, they actually roll with a lot of debt sometimes, right? Good debt. I think that's what they would call it. So do you roll with debt like that? Or is it just totally, you're zeroed out? You don't owe anything.
Right. So good
total
debt,
financial freedom.
Good debt is debt that is being financed by cash flow, right? So then, for example, this is my favorite example of this. So Grant Cardone, he said to somebody that he has like 1.1 billion or 1.2 billion. And he was like, how do you sleep at night? And then Grant Cardone said, well, if he gets into trouble, the American economy is in trouble. You have more problems to worry about if I go down, right? And the reason why he said that is because he has 3.5 or 4.5 billion dollars of assets covering that $1.2 billion in debt. If his assets go half suddenly, that's 2008. We're in a bigger crisis than you think, right? But you understand that if you're looking at it that way, and obviously this 3.5 is obviously cash flowing and servicing the debt. That is how rich people approach debt. If you are over leveraged, then that's a problem, right? So as long as this is the formula that's in the book, what you really want is as long as your cash flow from your assets is twice as much as your income, you're good to go. Sorry, your cash flow from your assets are twice as much as you're spending each month, then you're good to go.
Okay. Do you have a copy of that book you can hold up just to show people? I just want to make sure people.
It's actually funny.
Okay.
It's actually funny. So here's the thing. The reason I don't have it yet is because right now we actually haven't started promoting yet, right? Which is so funny because I think other people have started promoting it more than I have started yet, right? So we were actually just in the paper a couple of days ago. I think it was last week. And they were talking about the book that I haven't started talking about yet, right? Which is great, which is fantastic. But the promotion officially starts on the 18th of January, and we're going to go right until March 18th, right? We have so much planned, so much activity. It's going to be really fun, and I want to get as many people involved as possible. But I don't have the physical book yet because literally it's just around the corner.
I totally get that. I think that at least will build the suspense up for it. So once I get some type of picture of it, I'll make sure I add it to this because I really want people to see it. Because when you see that book, you're like, okay, I know where it's at. I got to go get it now.
For sure.
When you see the picture, I'm gonna make sure I put that on here.
Have it in bookstores. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Man, it is so great to see a young Black man, that is out here doing. Oh, stop calling me. That is out here doing good things in the world and promoting positivity and teaching at that young of an age, man. I mean, you're really young, you know what I'm saying? And it sounds like you have a wealth of knowledge that you are willing to share with people instead of Harvard, man. I think that this is going to be positive. A lot of young Black men are going to see this and find inspiration from it. So I salute you on that, man.
Thank you.
I mean, and just so I do want to ask you, did you write a book called The Full Student?
I did. That was actually my first best-selling book. That was a great book. Yeah.
And that was a best-selling book. What was that book about? Because I'm trying to see how you got to this one.
So it's very interesting. So the reason why this is called Full Money and that was called Full Student is because the philosophy of full is what I adopted. Again, that was a very transformative year when I was 15, right? So when I was 15, I came up with the idea of full because I heard someone say, I think it was this gym person that was saying, I think like yes or yes people. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And then I thought about it some more, maybe over a couple of months, deep thinking. And I also read that book, Deep Think, I think it's called. Anyway, what I came up with in that philosophy was that there were three meanings. The first is that we are not just financial creatures, right? We are emotional, we're physical, we're spiritual, we're mental, we're familial people, social people. And so then if we acknowledge all of these parts of ourselves, then the second definition is that you want to maximize all of these areas of your life. So it's not good if you have a bunch of money, but then you can't get out of bed in the morning. It's not good if you're a jacked guy, but if someone steps on your shoes, you're going to explode because you're a walking red flag. It's not good. But then the third is that as you are improving all of these things, by definition, if you're doing the first two, then by the third, you should be living your best year every single year. So that if you get to 89 years old, your best year should have been at 88, not when you were in college and you're still talking about that touchdown, right? You don't want that. You don't want to be that dude, right?
So I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You want to keep getting better over your life. So then that's what full means. So then on that philosophy, every time I write a book on full, that's my flagship philosophy, right? So then next one will probably be, I don't want to give it away, but it would be full, something. There's more coming. Don't worry.
Right.
There's more coming. But the idea of full is what happens. So then being a full student is understanding that academics is actually not it's not the most important thing of being a student. What I actually found is that I wanted college to take the least amount of time because I felt like school was a waste of my time because I was trying to retire by 30. And I knew that this wouldn't help me, right? But I still wanted to be an A student because I didn't want the ideal. So many people say this. When you're an entrepreneur, you're going to be a B student or a C student or a failing student, as if that's normal. It doesn't have to be that way. So then maybe I could solve that problem. So I was a straight A student. But by the time I graduated college, I was such a great student that I would write essays in 2 hours or 1 hour or 90 minutes before class, and I'll get an A on it because I understood it so well. And it's because of everything that I laid out in that book. Understood how to learn faster. I understood how to study faster, how to walk into exams not stressed or have anxiety. I would walk into the morning of the exam and I already knew I was going to ace the test because of everything I did before. That's an amazing feeling because everybody before the test is answering questions like, what did you think again? I'm always walking to the exam room with AirPods in because I don't want to hear anybody. I'm going to ace this and I don't care what you say. It's the type of confidence that exists in full student.
That's amazing, brother. That is amazing. And I noticed from that post that you put out that, man, Jamaica is really, on board with what you're doing, man. I noticed that you're going to have a news story or a news article that's in one of the major papers there in Jamaica, correct?
Yes. Jamaica always supports its people. Everywhere you go in the world, Jamaicans look out for each other. In fact, I invest with Jamaicans. I have business partners that are Jamaicans all over the world. And so Jamaica and our connection, it runs deep.
Yeah. Man, what's that? Okay, so me and my wife, anytime we get over to the islands, I don't think we've been to Jamaica yet, but it's this drink that we really like that we can't find in the States. And it mixes well with vodka. It's called Goombay Punch. It's called Goombay Punch. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Okay. Well, because
I know we have rum punch, but it's not vodka, it's rum.
Well, this is a soda. This is an actual soda from Coca-Cola that they only sell over there. It's called Goombay Punch. It's so delicious, man. I'm just kind of throwing. I was thinking about it while I got you on the phone. While I got you on the Zoom, I'm like, man, let me try to make a connection with that Goombay Punch because we can use it over here in the States, man.
I haven't heard about it. That's
No. I always try to make connections when I meet my brothers and sisters in the islands, man.
Yeah,
I've even called down there trying to connect with people. But I do want to jump on this other subject too, because I mean, you coming from another country, coming to America, looking at the current state of America as we are in currently right now with Donald Trump being a president. And as you can see, this shakedown and immigrant crisis, I call it a shakedown on immigrants. How is that being taken in the Jamaican community, man?
What I can tell you is that here's what I'll say. It's totally acceptable whenever you're faced with a question and you do not know enough information to say that you don't know enough information to comment on that topic. And so I don't know enough about the situation, right? I haven't studied it. I haven't read it. And so, I don't know enough.
Well, no, that's totally fine. I love that you can have those boundaries and just because sometimes when people ask you a question, it's like you feel like you have to fill the space. You know what I mean? So nothing's wrong with being reserved and not knowing something. Matter of fact, I applaud people who can do that. That's great. But as a person, you are in America currently, right? You're in the States right now currently.
Right now, I'm actually traveling. So I'm in Jamaica. I'm actually going to Sao Paulo in a couple of months, and then I'm heading over to South Africa and then Botswana. I travel a lot.
So being all around these different places throughout the world, what are some things that you've noticed that from other cultures that can help influence and better our culture as a people?
Well, what I will tell you is that here's where I think America might be missing something, right? So I remember the last time that I was in the Bronx. It's a very stark memory. And it was kind of cloudy and I think it was cold and everybody was wearing their sweaters, but they were all in black and gray and brown. And I remember thinking that many people are just working to survive or just working to take pictures on Instagram and they're not really living. And when you visit other countries, that the goal isn't work. The goal isn't to be as successful as possible. The goal is to have more nights with family, to be there and have mate in Brazil. Sorry, not mate in Brazil, mate in Argentina with their family at 5 p.m. every day. That's the goal. And if you miss a couple of days in a row, you're losing in life, right? It's not the idea of getting a BMW. That's not success. And so then the more you travel, it changes your perception of what success means to you. I think America might be missing that. I think what's also interesting is that it's not just America, because America is a big place, right? But what might be missing is that in the major cities, this happens, right? You have San Francisco, you have LA, you have New York, you have Miami, Atlanta. It's very work centered. But if you go to, Arkansas, I've been to little villages, right? Little places, and the people are happy. They're dancing. They have, and they're so kind. And if you travel throughout the United States, even you'll see that people still there have it right. And I think that's maybe what you see the more that you travel. It's not all about work. But be that as it may, you need money to see all these places. So
yes, indeed.
Let's just say that.
Well, brother, with your book and your wealth of knowledge, you're going to help a lot of people achieve that goal, to travel around the world, to find financial freedom and success. I'm going to buy this book for my daughter, the Full Student, I think it's called.
Definitely.
What was it? The
fantastic.
Yeah,
book.
I got the Full Student. Yes, I'm going to get that.
My favorite part of all of these, I will tell you, is when people come back to me and tell me that this book helped them do this. This book helped me become a real estate agent. This book helped me become a doctor, pass my nursing exam, pass my driver's test.
Right.
This is the kind of messages I get, which is,
okay.
You can imagine how I sleep at night, right? It's great.
So here's my play right here. I'm going to get my daughter, since she's a straight A student like you, she's a brainiac. She plays instruments and can sing, and
Awesome.
Straight A since she was in the 5th grade. I'm going to get her the Full Student, and I'm going to get my wife and my son, who is a young man trying to become an entrepreneur himself. I'm going to get him this new book. What's the name of it again when it comes out?
Full Money.
Full Money.
Full Money.
I'm going to get
the last
him.
dollar you'll ever need. It's called Full Money. It's a fantastic book.
I gotta get it, man. This is gonna be birthday gift, Christmas gifts. Definitely.
Sure.
This is coming in our house, brother.
For sure.
Man, I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you just sharing with my audience all of these great tips and tools and strategies for having financial freedom and success. A big part of this show's platform is bringing people on who can help our community to get better, to be more effective, to reach certain goals. So, man, I can't thank you enough for you coming on, man. Once that book drops, will you come back and let us know how it's doing? How's it going?
For sure. I'll send you a message. For sure.
Yeah, I want to see these travels too. I'm gonna stay friends with you on Facebook, man, because I'm gonna be watching your Facebook, man. I might have to come catch you somewhere. All right? Do you golf? Do you do anything? You got any hobbies besides making money?
I have so many hobbies. I love to travel. I do not golf yet. I love tennis. I love basketball. I love football. I've recently picked up pickleball. I used to be pretty good at tennis, so that was an easy translation. But yeah, lots of hobbies. I mean, we could go hiking. We can go horseback riding. I love it, man.
Okay, before I leave, because the ladies gonna want to know this, a young, successful black man. What's your dating life like? You free? The girls want to know, man. Maybe. Well, the girls want to know. How about that?
I'm single right now.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it, ladies.
Oh, dear.
Single right now, young, successful, talented, mature. A great example of what a young black man should be. So, Kadeem, before we finish the show, man, how can people get in contact with you? How can they reach out to you?
Oh, for sure. So I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I also have a website. So on Instagram, I am Kade, AMKADE _ You can find me. I have the blue check mark. On Facebook, you can just look me up. My name is Kadeem Leslie. And if you Google me, then all of this will come up, right? Kadeem Leslie, KADEEM. Name Leslie. Find me, connect with me. I would love to talk to you, love to reach out to you and see whatever way I can direct you in that will help you along your financial freedom journey. That's what I'm about, right? And then just want to put this out there. If you're looking for direction and you want to consume some content, we have free trainings for you guys. So then reach out to me. I'll direct you towards that.
Hey, man, I thank you so much, Kadeem, man. You have a great day, and thank you for being a part of Club Geneva, okay?
Thank you so much, brother. It was good talking to you.
Yeah, you too, man. Take care. Peace.